Today it's all about planning repairs and time management.
As a single professional, I had debt and no savings after my divorce. I always wonder how I can start investing in real estate to secure my future. I studied programs that gave me all the benefits of investing in real estate. Some claim I could start with no money, but I could not find one that gave me the practical, actionable steps I needed. As a wealth advisor, I've met people that own real estate but weren't ahead financially. They were rich, but they weren't wealthy. Then I finally realized that there was one vital component missing that makes someone become wealthy or not. And on the show, I will reveal what I found and give you the step-by-step actions to start investing in real estate and increase your wealth. My name is Araceli. Let's get started.
Hello friends. Yes, we're gonna be doing some planning. As a project manager, I'm gonna give you some quick tips of how to do this. If you've never managed a project, you need to really listen to this. It's very important to get some of the stuff in place. The first thing that you need to know, no matter what, if you use a general contractor or independent contractors, you are the boss. You are responsible. You are the main project management per se of the entire project. So if you know that, then you know how to start managing all of the contractors and everybody else that is around and that is going to be making the repair as easy and as quickly as possible. So number one, you're the boss. So let's talk about time management. So to be successful in your project, you need to be able to balance deadlines, the budget, and the quality of work more than anything. This can be very stressful, even for the simplest of projects. And this is where all the organization skills come into place. So if you are an organized person and you already have a job that is project management related, you're not going to have any trouble with it. But if you don't, I really encourage you to look into more about how to start a project, how to manage a project. So the lack of organization is detrimental to any project. But there are many ways to ensure that you can achieve the goal that you're set out to do. So the next thing is you need to set expectations early. Whether you work with that GC or not, or contractors, if you do have contractors, it's going to be even a little bit more difficult. So this should include the quality of work. I think by now you probably already have an idea what the contractor or general contractor is able to do. The first thing that I always do when I hire a contractor is to take a look at his work, whether it's in pictures or if they have a project going on, that you can see what is the quality of work. So the sooner that you explain your team your expectations, the better off you're going to be. The next thing is going to be define the scope. So you have to be very clear, whether it's a GC or contractors, exactly what you want. And to do this effectively, you need to understand the project's deliverables. And that sounds a little bit technical, but basically is what you wanted it to look like. So those are the outputs. So the cost, obviously, you're gonna have a quote from your general contractor or contractors, and it will define the scope of work, so exactly what they're going to be doing and how much they're going to charge you. You also need to know what are your available resources. What physical, human, and financial resources do you have at your disposal? And the stakeholders, which is who is going to be participating. So the GC is going to hire how many people and so on, right? So then I want you to follow a template. In my course, I have a template of what you need to do, how you need to do your repairs, or you can do a search online and look for a template, or you can actually shadow somebody that has already done it as well. it's the easiest thing that you do. Eventually you're going to develop your own way of doing things, but in the meantime, go and use a template that from somebody that you already are working with, or hire a mentor to help you out with it. The next thing is you need to review the progress, and has to be against the project plan. So if you had that let's say the framing or the electrical had to be done a certain amount of time, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks from where you started, where are you? Is it finished? Is it not finished? Or how long do you think it's going to be finished? And the reason is because there is other contractors that are going to come in after, or the general contractor might have somebody that is sick, and now this job is stopped because the electrical is not done, so therefore the drywallers can't do anything until that is completed. So every time that something doesn't get done, everything continues to be delayed. So just be aware of that. And that's why reviewing the progress consistently is the best way to know if something is not going to plan. And then of course, set time limits. Always make sure that there is some time limits for each one of the jobs that need to be done, and that they are going to be completed on time, on budget, and with the quality. Of course, some people, they want to do it quicker, but if they're not going to do it properly, then that is also going to cost you more in the long run. So you don't want to do that. So set the time limits. Meet frequently with your GC or your contractors. Ensure that when they're finished, you can call the next contractor if you are managing the project yourself. And then make sure that you keep yourself organized with a filing system. If you are managing more than one project at a time, it's even more imperative that you put together a file with your contractor information. If you are hiring just independent contractors, who's working on what property and what kind of scope is, because it might be 2 different jobs even though it's the same contractor. So keep everything there. The same with his receipts for things that you buy, material, anything that you have related to the project, just put it in a file folder. Some people like to have everything digital. I kind of have a combination because sometimes you get a receipt, so I immediately scan it and keep it on my file. I do have an iPad with me that I can carry on projects, and I can take pictures and make notes. I can scan pretty much anything in it and keep it on a file, but you never know, sometimes you forget or you don't have the iPad available right there. So just try to keep something that it's always there so you can go back to it. And the one thing that I don't do well is delegating tasks, and we need to learn to do that, to trust the people that we're hiring so they can do their job and we can be more efficient at our job. So it's important that you know how to delegate properly, that you know exactly and give instructions properly, because that's the main thing, that they understand exactly what you want them to do. And continue on. If you want the contractor to go and pick up the material instead of you doing it because you are doing something else or you're going to visit another property, then you need to communicate it, because that's when problems arise, because now the contractor said, well, I was waiting for the material, but they didn't understand that they were supposed to go and pick up the material, and now you wasted a day or 2, and then you have to pay a couple people there because they didn't have any work to do. So you don't want to do that. So it's very important to be clear about what you're asking people to do. The next thing is try to anticipate some issues. At first, it's not that simple because you're so overwhelmed with all of the stuff going on. But as you go along, as you move on into different projects, you will start to see what is happening. If there's going to be a problem with the city, if there is going to be a problem with delivery or anybody else that is not going to be able to complete the job, you will be able to see it ahead of time, because now you know what's next. and that only comes with experience. So the more you do it, the better you get at it. And the last tip that I have is that try to use some type of management software. I used to use Microsoft Project when I did project management for a company, but you don't have to use that. You can even use Excel sheet to just manage the projects that have been completed and what it's left to do. It's up to you how you organize yourself, but this is how I would do it. So I hope this helps, and I will see you in the next project. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.